Take a look at the Blotnick Bridge where you can actually see some fog in the background, and the fog is affecting other areas of the region. So this will be continuing at least through 8 o'clock as dense fog advisories are in effect across the area. Other than that, the area is pretty quiet elsewhere. We do have an extreme heat watch in effect for northwestern Wisconsin through Friday afternoon. So not in effect for today, but for tomorrow as heat indices will be rising. Here are the dense fog advisories I was talking about, especially along the St. Louis River. Visibilities down there are down to a quarter mile or even less. So if you're driving through those areas, you want to take it a little bit slower as we need a little bit more extra room to see the car in front. Other than that, look at the future heat indices for tomorrow. So this is for today. We're going to be in the 80s, perhaps near 90, especially south of town. As we get into tomorrow, look at this. We've got 90s, potentially near 100 degrees for tomorrow. And that's why we have those excessive heat watches in effect for northwestern Wisconsin and for areas like in Hinckley, where you could near 99 or 100 degrees for tomorrow's heat index. Now, for the current conditions across the area, again, there's not much happening around the area. Just a few showers that are currently across the Boundary Waters and the Iron Range. These will continue making their way eastward towards Grand Marais and Silver Bay, but they're really losing in intensity here, and they might just fizzle out before it even gets to the lake. So that's good news for if you're traveling along 61 going southbound here. Temperatures across the area are in the 60s across pretty much all areas. We do have a couple 70s here in Ironwood and Hayward. Now for today, we're going to be seeing high temperatures into the 80s, which is quite above average for this time of year, about 7 degrees or so. A light southeast wind is going to keep areas in Wisconsin also warm, even by near the lake in Washburn, where you're going to see high temperatures also in the 80s. Now tonight, it's a bit of a different story. With the sun being out and about, we're going to see more instability or juice for those thunderstorms for some thunderstorms to build. And so across Wisconsin, we might see an isolated thunderstorm, and especially across north central Minnesota, we could see, again, some thunderstorms. I only give it about a 30% chance, so it's not going to be widespread, but we could see a few tonight. Here's a severe risk that we have where most of us are just going to see some rumbles of thunder. Out west, maybe we see an isolated pocket of damaging wind, but for Friday, it's a little bit of a different story. We have a 1 out of 5 risk here locally across Duluth and the Twin Ports and along the lake, but we do have a 2 out of 5 risk out just west of 169. That's for some damaging wind that might come about into tomorrow. So let's time out this whole sequence here starting today, heading into Friday night. So today we're going to be seeing, again, clearing skies with those showers that will be heading on their way out through this afternoon. We'll drop on off tonight into the 60s, again, still maintaining clear conditions as we head through the 11 o'clock hour. Friday, this is where we could see the first round of thunderstorms. So again, it's not going to be a huge severe threat. We're just going to see some thunderstorms. Maybe we see an isolated pocket of damaging wind, mainly out towards the west. Wisconsin, you're likely to stay dry. Friday afternoon, we'll break out the sun for a little bit. Temperatures will warm into the 80s, maybe even 90s south of the region. And then Friday night, this is when we could see those storms pop up again, potentially around the area. And then the second round of storms is going to form out west towards North Dakota, and that's going to be making its way eastward with time as we head through the overnight hours, and that may linger into the morning hours on Saturday, where it will finally begin to clear out of the region, and we'll see dropping temperatures after Saturday and into Sunday. So let's take a look at your 7-day forecast here, where we've got 70s in the forecast after this weekend. We've still got to get through the 80s, and we've got a couple storm chances heading through tonight, Friday night, and perhaps the lingering part of Saturday morning. But after that, we're looking beautiful for the latter part of the weekend.